Love and Marriage DC reality star Winter Henderson holds nothing back in a one-on-one interview with me. Winter Henderson, do you talk to any of the cast today?
I let people choose their side.
But I don't think a lot of times many of you all are being real.
I don't care.
I hear that Monique is coming back on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Is Monique broke?
I figured that would happen eventually. The show had went to hell by this point.
But was the show toxic?
There was a lot of backstabbing and throwing other people under the bus.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Did Ashley kill the show?
I don't play about being lied on.
Elephant in the room. Are you suing Carla?
I never needed reality TV.
What's the issue with you and the Tylers?
That is really what ended my conversation.
There was rumor that Irena had slept with a pastor.
I literally was blindsided by what was going on and what I had discovered.
What was that about? You thought I may have had an issue with you based on who?
You live your life, I live mine. If anyone is on any sort of weird type of time, I don't have time.
Winter Henderson. Winter
Yes.
Henderson. I knew you as Winter Harris.
You did.
Winter Harris.
A lot of people know me as Winter Harris,
Yes.
but that has changed.
Yeah. How have you been?
How have I been? That's such a loaded question.
It is.
But what I will say is in the last year and a half, there's been so much change and transition in my life, personally, professionally. So now if you ask me that question, fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Who are you, Winter? Where did you grow up? Where are you from? What's your background?
Yes. So I grew up in Jonesboro, Arkansas. So I say hence the awe in my Arkansas. Very country. I don't want to call it a super small town because I try to explain Arkansas is not a huge state.
Sure.
With, most of the populations are very small, but I grew up in the fourth largest city in Arkansas. So 70,000 may not sound like a lot, but it's a lot for Arkansas. So it still wasn't a big town.
Juxtaposed to DC, it isn't a lot, but
Correct.
I mean, DC is like, 700 plus thousand.
Right, in
you're
one
saying,
place.
yes.
70. So 10% of that is the town I grew up in. Everyone knew everyone. So it was still a very small town mentality. Parents were pastors, so I was born and raised in the church.
So two-parent household.
Two-parent household. Two-parent household, two younger siblings. I'm the oldest of three girls. We spent most of our spare time in church, the other time in school. I found out very early on that my passion was singing and doing pageants. So I did that all the way through college.
Because I think I read you got a partial vocal scholarship.
I did.
Yep.
I got a partial vocal scholarship to college, University of Arkansas, Woo Pig Suey. Still support them. Yes, so I would say I had a very solid home life. There was no, I'm not negating some of the family issues that some experience, but that was not my experience. I grew up, my granny lived around the corner, which was my dad's mom.
Sure.
So I grew up with a lot of family. It was a large family. I have 11 aunts and uncles on each side.
11 on each side.
11 on each side.
Your family loved having fun.
Oh my gosh. A lot of kids.
Fun.
A lot of kids. My grandparents were obviously very fertile, but
sure.
So a lot of family. My mom's mom would keep us during the summer. So I had a solid foundational structure. My parents were always very supportive. I feel like instilled the right things and values into us, which is why I feel like, moving to DC, I've been largely an outlier.
Sure.
Because I didn't grow up in the city.
When did you come to DC?
I came to DC 20 years ago.
Wow.
May 2005. So I just crossed 20 years
So
in
May 2005, 20 years ago. Do you have siblings?
Two younger siblings.
Two younger siblings.
Yes.
Male, female?
Both girls.
Both girls.
Two sisters. So three girls. My dad was a girl dad.
Yeah.
So two younger sisters. They live in the area now. So they relocated about 3 years after I relocated. Then my mom followed suit. So we're tight. We're tight. Yeah. And I always felt like because I had a solid family, I really didn't need friends. I know that sounds insane to people.
No, I think a lot of people relate to that when you have, this gargantuan family and siblings
yes,
and relatives
cousins,
and cousins. You guys all sort of depend on each other.
True.
And you call each other cousins and become sisters and brothers.
That's so true.
I get
that's
that.
us. And I grew up that way. So I never really felt pressed to please people or buy friends
Yep.
or beg for friends because I had 2 built-in best friends with my
Yeah.
sisters. And then all of my cousins created this extended network that I was like, hey, I don't care if you like me or not. I got people I can go
You have people who love you. Who love you.
Absolutely. And then my mom now has become like one of the girls. So that is fantastic. My dad is still a dad girl. Like I don't know. My family is great.
It's the family I think most people dream of having. It really is. I mean, 2-parent household and siblings, no one or nothing is perfect.
No.
But there are a lot of people who strive for that love and they're not getting that today.
For sure. And I will with I'm as transparent as they come and I don't have anything to hide.
Sure.
But my parents divorced after 27 years of marriage. So I tell people all the time, it's a little different being an adult when your parents divorce because I feel like I got all the good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, 27.
7 years, that's a long time. And actually, let's get into that because I was going to ask you,
Yes.
where did your image of marriage come from, a successful marriage? And is it fair to say your family, despite the divorce, your parents?
Yes, hands down, I didn't know anything else. I always felt like a dad was very important. I feel like my dad is the credit with why I don't take any crap from men.
Yep.
It's very limited. I feel like I understand grace and mercy and the principles of
Absolutely.
forgiveness.
Absolutely.
However, being raised by a girl dad who instills such a strong foundation of confidence and self-respect and love, it's just some things that I was like, oh, my dad would never.
So why did you become a relationship coach? Actually, before you answer that, let me just go. I was doing research on you and I learned that Winter obviously is a mother of 4, a transformational speaker, entrepreneur, life coach, relationship coach, media personality, and recording artist, and an author of 9 books.
Correct.
Sister, where do you get time to do it all?
Well, I mean, I feel like certain avenues that I love are very prevalent in different seasons.
Yeah.
And so there were seasons where I was doing a lot of relationship and life coaching. That was who I was serving at that time. And it's not about the success of the relationships because I've had such a beautiful view of what relationship is and what it is not, because there is beauty in things being ugly and not so beautiful at times, right? But my grandparents, my mom's parents were married for 60 plus years until death. They raised 11 kids.
60 years.
60 plus.
Plus.
60 plus. Like my grandmother passed away first. And honestly, because my grandfather was
That's
heartbroken.
Yeah.
He died 2 years later.
Oh, wow.
He had
Sorry to hear
difficulty,
that.
but that's very common when you find couples that have been married for that long and together for that long. All that to say, a lot of my relationship coaching wasn't necessarily intentional.
Yeah.
People kept asking me questions, especially going through a divorce. Like, what did you learn about divorce that you didn't know, or some things you wish you had done
differently.
or done differently? And this is where my transparency may get me in trouble, but I'm honest. Going through my divorce with my children's father, we were together for 15 years, but we got together at 19 years old. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't. Because
that's Kevin Williams, the former.
No, that
Okay, so let me just stop. Because in my interview,
Yes.
I'm sorry, in my research, I was like reading that. Was there another husband before Kevin?
Correct.
So who's that gentleman?
My children's father.
Okay.
So we were married for 15 years.
Yes.
And then there was obviously 4 or 5 year break in between. And then there's the Kevin of it all.
Okay.
So yes, I when I refer to marriage, because Kevin and I were only married a year, that's not long enough to even reference. But when I say I was married, and that's so terrible, I skip over even mentioning it because it's not relevant to, well, I learned what not to do. Let me say that.
Sure.
There's lessons in all things. But my children's father and I were married for 15 years. So that was a bulk of my young adult life. From 19 to 34, I was a wife. I was a mom. And so if I had to do it all over again, I would say absolutely not.
Correct.
We were not ready. We did not really know each other that well because at 19, what do you really know?
Absolutely.
And I look at my kids now and I'm like, oh God, if they got married at 19, I would be like, absolutely
not. And if you look at pictures from when you were married at 19 up until 34, would you say it's fair that you would weep for the woman you were at that time compared to what you know today?
Complete. Those are two different people.
Absolutely.
Those are two totally different people. And in a lot of ways, I feel like I was growing up as I was becoming a mom and a wife.
Yeah.
But there's not even a comparison. Like, I'm so firm and secure in who I am now. I love who I am now. Not to say that I didn't love pieces of who I was then, but I think as women, so much of our identity gets wrapped up in being a wife and a mom that it's hard to believe that dreams are possible.
Absolutely.
And it's not that you don't love being a wife, and it's not that you don't love being a mom, but I think there's a portion of yourself that feels incomplete until you figure out, like, what is it that I'm exactly put on this earth to do besides kids? Because I tell people all the time, that's a season. And I say that because I'm experiencing that now. Like, my kids are growing up. My youngest son is a senior in high school this year.
Yeah.
My youngest is...
So what's the age range?
So 14 to 23.
Wow. And
they all go up a year in age this year. So I'll have 15 to 24.
Absolutely.
So I have been a mom longer than I've not been a mom.
Absolutely.
But I will say my kids are getting older. They've all matured into great human being, like human beings that I'm proud of.
And that's what we want most.
Yes, as parents.
Yep.
That's all you can ask for. My oldest just got married, so she moved away with her husband. And people are like, oh my God.
She's young and she's married. Is there concern that she could have the same hiccups, or she just has to have her own experience?
So she's not as young as we were. And she's also through school. And she also has a career. So she has a lot more.
Those variables make a difference.
They make a huge difference. And she has no children. So from that aspect, I feel like she got married at a pretty good time at her life where she hasn't sacrificed her fun time. She hasn't sacrificed being able to experience the world. And my kids have some travel experiences that I never had until I became an adult.
Sure.
They have the family structure and foundation. While their dad and I didn't remain married, we remained very committed to the partnership of parenting them. That was very important to us.
Yeah.
We didn't use attorneys. Speaking of being divorced.
Absolutely.
That was not something that
Well, you all didn't have any money.
Oh, yes, we did.
Oh.
So he was coming out of the NFL. And he had assets.
Okay.
Unlike my situation with Kevin, where there was nothing to split.
So your first husband was an NFL player.
Correct.
Who is he?
So I don't like to mention him by name because he likes to be private. But you can look him up.
Yes.
He's easy to find.
Which team or
the
teams?
Washington Commanders.
Yep.
And that was the only team he played for. So we were here for 3 seasons. He got injured.
Hold on. Is this Kevin Williams?
No.
Okay, so Kevin Williams is the one.
He's the old me.
The gentleman for just the year you were married.
Correct.
So your first husband was in the NFL for years.
Yeah, for 3 seasons.
3
he
seasons,
did with the Commanders.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin was just Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin was Kevin. Yes, so Stephen was who I was married to for 15 years. And so he played for the Commanders. That's how I ended up in the DC area.
Got it.
So he signed the contract. We moved straight from college in Arkansas to the DMV.
Wow.
What a huge change.
How much did your life change in that being a part of that world?
Drastically, because it was something I wasn't used to. It was something he wasn't used to. This was a new arena for us both. So navigating being in the NFL world, navigating being young parents, because we were definitely having kids.
So when he entered the NFL, did you guys have a child at that point?
We had 2.
2 at that time.
So our
children.
2 older ones were born. They were 4 and 2 when we moved to the area.
Wow.
So we had spent a great deal of our younger years married while he was playing in college.
So what are the kids' relationship like with their father?
Oh, fantastic. They're aces. So like I said, our divorce was very amicable. It wasn't like there was a discrepancy as to why we were getting a divorce.
Sure.
So we didn't need attorneys. We split everything down the middle. We split even custody down the middle.
Wow. So
we've always had 50-50. And people often ask me, you ask me a question as well.
Sure.
How do you do it all?
Yep.
I have the time to do it all. Because I was in a situation where being a father was very important to him, and he wasn't gonna not be a father because we weren't married anymore.
Yeah.
So he's always been very committed and very involved. And I'm thankful for that because I've seen the difference that it's made in our children's lives.
What did Stephen think of you going on reality TV with the children?
So he signed off on it. So I could not have allowed my minor children to film without his permission.
Without his permission.
So he gave us permission.
And why do you think he was supportive?
Because it's what I wanted to do. And if the kids, and he did ask them if they wanted to do it, and they did. So he was also supporting something that they were wanting to be a part of as well. Now, he was asked to join, and he was like,
oh, he was.
Heck no. Absolutely. Because production saw how well our co-parenting relationship was, and they thought that was an important aspect to show. But again, he has a very important job. And as we know, reality TV can get very, very messy. It's not worth messing up your bag.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that just wasn't a thing. So he declined, but he did allow for the kids to film.
He did allow for the kids. And what are your children's relationship like with your current husband, which is what, Edward Henderson?
Correct.
Yep.
They love him. They have such a great relationship, but we've been dating a little over 2 years. So we had time to get to know each other's families for real. And he had an opportunity to build a relationship with the kids. The kids will fight somebody over him. Like
really?
They are they have a really tight
Why do you think they establish a bond with your current husband in that 2.5 years when some kids are usually attitudinal about another man coming in?
Well, that is something that their dad and I talked about. Once we got divorced, we explained to them like, hey, we're both going to be moving on to see other people.
Sure.
And while you always have space to be honest with us, if you feel like something is off with the person, or, you sense something is, maybe alarming with the person, we still ask that you be respectful, and we ask that you respect us.
Absolutely.
And so that allowed for them to kind of create the space in their mind that other people would be involved at some point. Their dad is remarried, and his wife has been in the picture, oh my gosh, for about 6 years now.
And you guys are cordial with each other?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
My kids love her. And I think not enough women consider like how important it is that your kids are in a safe environment where they feel loved and embraced by every parent that is a part of their world, right? So for me, as long as my kids didn't feel like there was an issue with her, I don't have a reason to have an issue with her.
But it also takes time to establish that type of bond where the spouses get along of the exes, because it takes a lot of maturity. The sometimes the anger, the pain, all have to subside before the current husband wants to meet the ex and the new wife wants to meet the ex-wife, and now we all on a trip like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much energy to give something that impacts that is aside from your kids.
Yeah.
Your work is not your kids' work. And so I feel like it's imperative that from jump, you set your personal feelings aside. I'm not saying negate them, but you need to go to a therapist to work that out.
Absolutely.
But your kids should not have to navigate your feelings about their other parent.
Absolutely.
They just shouldn't. So if there's people that are brought into their world that love them and support them, so be it. So we've never had an issue.
Now, I've read that your husband, like Edward, is a commercial real estate advisor and a licensed broker.
Yes.
And that you guys met, were you at some type of event?
A networking event.
A networking event.
Yes.
And they said, turn to the person next to you.
Introduce
yourself. And then 6 months later, you guys are dating.
Correct.
And how many months after 6 months were you married?
Oh, gosh. That was almost 2 years.
2 years.
Almost 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2023, we started dating. It was our first date. We went to, Chia.
Yep.
In Georgetown.
Yep.
That was our first date. And we've been dating ever since. So that was 2 years ago because we got married on May 8th.
May 8th.
Yes.
Wow. Were you ready for marriage that soon?
Yes, because it's interesting to me, and I say this a lot. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you go through it and you grow through it. The wedding and the marriage that shouldn't have happened was Kevin. That's when I wasn't ready.
How did you meet Kevin?
So interestingly enough, I met him through like the event space as well.
Okay.
But he was planning events for charity. And so he was just bringing different people on board and got introduced to me. So he extended an invitation to come meet with him and get to know the organization. And I tell people all the time, was it like a romantic connection? No, that's the truth. But in the midst of like finding that we have things in common, like I was big in church then. Oh my gosh, I was a thumper. I was a Bible.
With the Bible. God say, God said, like, woman, you better go on somewhere.
Oh my gosh,
We love God.
Right?
We love God.
I was a thumper, y'all. Anyway, so that was really the connection and the draw. And
Yes.
you just had to know me then.
Okay.
I was so heavy in the purity culture, waiting to have sex before you get married, like all the things, right? He knew how to ride that lane so good. And so it was just so much religiosity is what I call it that was wrapped up into that. Otherwise, if I had to just use my good, calm, and normal natural sense, it would have never happened. All that to say, I feel like because I was able to find myself in that situation, I wasn't ready then.
Yeah.
But boy, did that situation teach me a lot.
Is it fair to say being married for, 15 plus years or so,
right,
that your personal psyche depended on being with somebody?
For
so
sure.
You needed to connect.
When I say, oh my gosh, one of the greatest, I guess, aha moments out of that situation, because I went to therapy, because I was like, this don't make any sense. Like, nobody signs up to be divorced twice, right?
Absolutely.
So for me, it was going through therapy and understanding that because so much of my young adolescent life was connected to being a wife.
Sure.
Right? A lot of my identity, a lot of my sense of self and security was connected to that. I wasn't necessarily then, after we got divorced, looking for someone that was good for me. It was essentially to get back to the position where I was most comfortable.
Absolutely.
Which was being a wife. And you overlook so many red flags with that mentality.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but it shook me out of that. At that point, then I could date and say, you know what? I really want to find someone that's good for me. Not just, I want to be a wife. Because we've been a wife twice.
Yeah.
I can live without being a wife at this point.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was able to date and eliminate.
But from your second husband, Kevin Williams, to Edward Henderson, what's that window?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Because 2.5 with Edward, about 2.5 dating.
No, 2 years dating.
2 years dating.
Correct.
Yeah. And so that's a 4-year window.
Yeah, it's a 4-year window.
Is this it for you?
That's it. Let me tell you what, I'm a Henderson till I die. And we both laugh about it because we both have been married twice before.
I wanted him to come with you, and I said to you.
I know. This is not his thing at all. He lets me do what I do, and he's very supportive.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, he's very supportive. But this is not his thing. He's like, baby, you can do what you do. Let me know. Do you need me to come to help? I was like, no, I'm good.
Before we move on, I want to know, do you believe that Black women should marry Black men?
No.
Tell me why.
Because then we're relying strictly on skin tone. And we're human beings at the end of the day.
But some people will push back and say it's deeper than skin tone. It's about the
relatability,
but more importantly, it's about the economic stratification, that social and economic stratification, and building a strong foundation and keeping the dollar within the community.
I understand that, but in such a melting pot of a world now. Like, at the rate people are blending and mixing cultures, it's impossible to keep that mentality as the world progresses and gets more and more intertwined. So I'm very careful. Do I understand the power of Black love? Sure. And is there a place for it? Sure. And I think if that is your direction, then you need to ensure that that is a healthy display of love that people can learn from and pull from, and hopefully implement if they decide to marry someone of color that's Black to Black, right? But I've also seen partnership in such beautiful ways. My family is very multicultural, and I've seen it work. So,
and we can't really legislate love. I mean, with the exception of the Loving case, where that allow interracial dating to happen, we can't legislate love.
You can't. And I think that's kind of a fine line. I mean, even my new family that's growing, my daughter, her husband's Hispanic. And he's so good to her. And I couldn't imagine her being with someone else. It's just who she fell in love with.
Do you want a baby with Kevin? I'm sorry, with Edward Henderson?
I would be open to it.
You would be open to having another child?
I would be open to it.
How does he feel?
He would be open to it as well.
Does Edward have any children?
He just has one. So he would be open to it. But a lot of that's in God's hands. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. However, we have a cutoff window. And if it doesn't happen before that certain cutoff, it's a no. Then we're just going to live with the 5 we have.
Did Edward know that you were a reality TV star, that you were on Love and Marriage DC?
When he first met me, no. And he'll tell you that. Because he was like, what is that?
What is that? Yeah.
What is that? And I explained to him, and he said, oh, I think one of my friends is on that. And I'm like, who's your friend?
Yeah.
Quick.
Oh, so did Ashley send you on this networking event so you could?
No, she had nothing to do with it. So I'm like, Quick. Now, at the time, Ashley and I are beefing.
Quicksilver, that is.
Yes, Quicksilver. So I'm like, oh, this is not going to work.
This is not going to work, yeah.
We're good. We'll keep it on a friend level.
Absolutely.
And he legitimately doesn't understand. And I'm like, oh, this is bad. Like,
yeah.
This is, and they were getting ready to go. I can't remember where they were going. So I'm like, don't ask him any questions about me.
Yes. Let me ask you this. How did Edward propose to you?
Oh, gosh. So we had been talking about getting married for, I don't even know. This had to be a while. Like at this point, we knew we wanted to build a life together and all that jazz. So he's a good surpriser. He's a romantic. So he always has a plan.
Good job, Edward.
He always has a plan. He's planned some incredible things. Anyway, so he kept saying, babe, I want us to do unique dates. Like, let's get outside of our comfort zone. Let's go roller skating. So he took me roller skating. He said, how do you feel about doing an improv class? I said, sounds good. I'll do an improv. So we go to this improv class. And at the end of the class, he starts talking. I'm like, why is he talking so much? Because it was odd. Like, we don't know these people. Why are you running your mouth?
He's sociable.
No. Then he slips and falls. I can't make this stuff up. I wish we had the video. It was so funny. He slips and falls because we learn how to fall.
Yes.
Pretend fall at this class.
Yes.
So he pretend falls, but I think it's
Speaking of fall, your track fall
that he wrote.
That he
co-wrote. Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry for being tangential.
No, it's
I'm all over the place.
So I'm like, okay, he's on the floor. I'm trying not to laugh. I want to make sure he's okay. But I am about to cry because he's falling on this floor. He pivots and he's on one knee. And that's how he asked. It was great.
Wow,
everyone in the class was so
was awesome. That was so intentional.
It was intentional. I thought it was different. It wasn't the typical, like, get, your heart flowers. Nothing against that lady if that's how you got proposed to. But for me, I liked that it was different and unique. I didn't expect it at all. I'm pissed that he didn't tell me to change clothes that day because I'm like, bruh, if you knew you were going to do that, you should have told me to find something else.
Exactly. So because he wrote Fall, your new track, and you guys have fallen for each other, and now he has his feet wet in the entertainment world, would he do a reality show with you since he supports you?
Interestingly enough, would he do, it would have to be the right reality show.
Okay.
Someone asked us this recently. He honestly is funny as heck.
Okay.
He has a great sense of humor and just is funny without trying. So I think he would make for great TV, but the reality TV that I come from, he would never do that.
Okay.
Like, it would have to be our own show, a group of people that we trusted and that we knew.
Hanging with the Hendersons.
Yes, hanging with the Hendersons, absolutely. So I think our family dynamic, people would appreciate, but also like how we're best friends. So we have such a good time, but we crack on each other all the time.
Is that phrase overused? We are best friends.
No.
Because everybody says that until you end up in court.
See, I never said that about either one of my ex-husbands.
Really?
Never.
Never said we're best friends. He's my best friend.
No.
Never. All right, so let's switch gears and so I want to talk about why initially I wanted to interview you.
Sure.
I saw you at Santana Moss's Christmas toy drive. I think Carmen put it together and she was there.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about
the toy drive.
Toy drive. Yes.
The Christmas toy drive.
Yes.
Can't remember which restaurant, but I saw you there. You and I hadn't seen each other in a long time.
Yes.
And I just made eye contact with you.
Yes.
You were leaving.
Yes.
And I said, hey, Winter, I felt that you appeared trepidatious a little, like you were apprehensive about maybe should I speak or say something. And I felt like we embraced each other. I remember giving you a hug.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought you said something like, oh, I didn't know that you were going to speak or say hi. It was what was that about? That's
very common. Like people in the DMV are very cliquish. So if they feel like you have an issue with a person, they can be standoffish too.
But let's parse that. Who did you thought I may have had an issue with you based on who?
The show had went to hell by this point. And not everybody, because I can't say that because I have such great relationships with a lot of people. But you get the little people that may have chosen sides.
Okay, so but who did you think that I chose?
I didn't know. I really didn't know because I only know you through Ashley, Quick, Arena, and Jamie.
Yes.
Like that's the circle. Like, so I'm like, hey, if anyone is on any sort of weird type of time, I don't have time. I'm not even. And I let people choose their sides.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, like, do you have an issue with me? I don't care.
I'm cordial with all of the folks.
But a lot of people aren't. You do understand.
I speak to everyone,
a lot of people
the Tylers. If I see the Silvers, I'll speak to Ashley, speak to Quick. I don't have a dog in a fight.
But you know that a lot of people do feel like they have a dog in the fight.
Well, maybe because people are looking for purpose and they're looking for posture in a sense. It's like, this gives me a reason to not like you or feel a certain way because I roll with this person. And listen, I think perhaps if you have a personal friendship and relationship and you're talking with them every other day on the phone and you're hanging out 24/7, you're at their home, maybe that could be a person's posture. That's not my relationship with the Tylers or the Silvers. I'd speak to them and I see them out and I love the Tylers. I like the Silvers as well. Have I been to maybe more events the Tylers have had? Yes. Have I been at events where we shared that space because they were invited? Yes. Are we conversational? Yes, but I don't have a dog in the fight.
Well, that's fortunate. That's different than what I've experienced in some spaces. And I'm going to be honest, over the last year and a half, I've largely separated myself from that world.
So here's the question. Yes. Do you talk to any of the cast today?
I talk to Quick and Ashley.
You do? So you still have a friendship with them?
Yeah, because Quick and Ed have been friends a lot longer than I've even known Ed and Quick and Ashley combined. Like they've known each other for a while. So they were men don't care like women care.
Absolutely.
So they're not going to quit being friends because maybe Ashley and I had a falling out or a tip. They could care less. So yeah, we're still cool. We're all friends.
What about the Duncans?
We don't see them. So I think people have to understand.
But do you have to see a person to pick up the phone?
Well, we didn't really talk on the phone like that before. See, I think that's the issue I have with the genre of reality TV that I come from, because it perpetuates a reality that's not a reality. Like, we're all such good friends and we're all so close. And
it professes a false image of friendships that really don't exist.
Correct. So I have to explain to people, a lot of my cast I did not know prior to Love and Marriage DC, and that's no shade to them. That's the reality. I only knew Monique and Chris.
Speaking of Monique and Chris, I hear that Monique is coming back on the Real Housewives of Potomac. What do you make of that?
I figured that would happen eventually.
Why?
Because if Portia's allowed to come back after having an altercation, why would Monique
Is Monique broke?
Not be allowed? Not that I know of.
Okay, because there was just sort of rumors of she's coming back because she needs money, and I thought maybe Winter was still in conversation with Monique, so this would be the perfect time to ask.
So I haven't talked to her in forever either.
And you wouldn't know her finances anyway.
I wouldn't. Ain't none of my business.
It's not your business.
And my thing is, so what if she wants to come back? Like, why does it matter?
Well, I don't know if it matters as much, but I think when people, and this may be a conversation for me to have with Monique, I think as people saw this healing journey, this sort of spiritual edification, this redemption, that why would someone sort of enter the world of chaos and kerfuffle?
I understand that, but I feel like people go through their own journey, and I feel like it may not, in her mind, be a bad idea to show people that side of her, because they got so much of the side that was different, right? Why not show them where you've come back?
I love Monique. I just
I don't see why it's a big deal. It's a big issue. These other cast members from these other shows leave and come back all the time, right? So why is she the exception?
Let me ask you this, because the first time I indirectly met you is when the Tylers invited me to their 26th wedding anniversary. Oh, God, that's when the show was taped in its first season. It was at Air.
Air, yes.
It was at Air.
That's correct. That was my second time filming.
That was your second time. Your hair was shaved and I saw you sitting. I was like, I didn't know what was going on.
Yes.
Did Monique call you up and say, hey, I'm doing this new show, come on? Like, how did you guys rekindle? First of all, let me just ask, are you and Monique friends? Authentic friends?
No, were we? Yes. Are we now? No.
Oh,
no,
wow.
not since the show. The show really ended a lot of that. And I think that's kind of the challenge with this type of reality TV, is that it impacts real friendships, because the audience doesn't know what's real and fake, and they don't also see the totality of what we film.
Sure.
So when there are, things being said and done that are clipped and cut, and the audience thinks, oh, well, you're mad at this person because of this or because of that, they're not understanding the whole range of a situation. So for me, when I left reality TV, I pretty much cut ties with everyone.
Did you and Monique rekindle? And how did the conversation happen? Did she say, hey, come to Starbucks and let's talk about this deal that I have?
No. So prior to the show, Monique and I had always been cool, and we would support each other in different capacities as we could. So she just knew Kevin at the time. They knew him I didn't even know they knew him, but they knew him from church back in the day. And so they knew we had gotten married. And she said, hey, I'm looking for another couple. I have this new opportunity for a reality show. Would you guys be interested? So we talked about it, about it, and agreed to do the interview. And we did 2 rounds. We were actually moving into accepting, and then all hell broke loose.
Wow.
So I called Monique back and I said, yeah, pull us. Like, I got a lot going on.
All hell between you and Kevin.
Correct.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, pull us from the running. We got a lot going on. I'll catch you up to speed when I get my hand around what's going on.
Because if reality TV is supposed to be based on reality, were you concerned about being embarrassed about your reality, which is why you said pull us? Oh,
no. Like, when I say I literally was blindsided by what was going on and what I had discovered, I just didn't have the mindset to be in anybody's reality TV. Like, when I say all hell was breaking.
So really quickly, what did you discover? I can't remember all of it on the show.
He had a few of his investors in his company come to me and tell me that they believed he was stealing money.
That's right.
And it was about $3 million.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
So,
And would you have been named in a lawsuit or?
Oh, never. Okay. I never mixed myself with any of his business stuff. I felt like things had already moved faster than I would have liked. Sure. And he, had made all these promises and assurances that I just didn't feel comfortable. I felt like we needed to get to know each other more. And when I tell you single-handedly, it was the best thing I could have ever done, was to say, hey, let's wait a year or two before we mix any sort of financial thing. He tried to come after me in our divorce. So knowing that we had nothing combined, saved my behind.
Saved your behind.
Yes.
All right, so let me get back to, so you and Monique, she invited you to come on the show. Obviously, you made the cut, and you appear, was supposed to be in one scene, I read.
So I didn't make the cut. I pulled myself from the running. So they went on to film the show as normal. The first scene, she had a guest speaker scheduled, which was Melody Holt from Huntsville.
Yes,
Melody got sick. So she needed a fill-in. So she called me. She said, hey, we're right up the street. Are you available to film? I need a speaker. And you're the only other person I know who does what she does.
Who speaks so well.
Who speaks, yeah.
Yes.
And I said, okay, sure, I'll do it. I mean, this is what I do. I'm speaking all over the world at this point. Sure, I'll come speak, share my story. And the producers were like, wait a minute. She's very transparent.
She's spicy.
And yes, she's very transparent. So they came to me and said, hey, would you be open to filming? And I said, sure. When's the next time? That was the Tyler's anniversary party.
Oh, that was the next time.
So Carlos was actually on set that day. And so they called me to the back, and Carlos himself said, hey, we'd like to add you to the show.
Speaking of Carlos, the elephant in the room, are you suing Carlos?
I don't know who has come up with this. No lawsuit has been named.
No lawsuit. Are you interested in suing Carlos or Own Network or Kingdom Reign? Is there any lawsuit amongst the cast or Carlos?
Not that I know of. It would be news to me. And I feel like if there's a potential of any sort of legal action, that would be a completely separate decision amongst whoever felt that they needed to. But there's been
Do you know of someone who's suing? Because it may be public. I mean, listen.
I don't know anyone that's suing Kingdom Reign or Carlos.
Yeah.
I haven't
But
heard
was
that.
the show toxic?
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
By definition of what? Because some would say reality TV is a recipe of conflict, chaos, and controversy.
So I think there is. But I think there also has to be an honor code and a moral code amongst those that participate. And there was none in our cast.
What does that mean? Break that down.
It's no different than having standards with HR. Like within a company, there's certain things you can and cannot do when you work for a company. It should be the same with reality TV.
But when you conflate entertainment and allegedly you all are being real, the lines become blurred, if you will. Because I just think like when I go to work every day, there are people I like, I may not like, and I disagree with, but I'm going in saying this is a job to do. But in reality TV, being yourself supposed to be the job, and personalities and feelings and things it's not like HR comes in reality TV and say, here's an orientation. No, you sign a contract and get in. Show us who you are. Tell us about some people that you have issues with. Let's set up some scenes, talk about it, do some events, let's travel. That's the recipe of reality TV.
So it's the recipe, but I will say at large for a lot of these other networks and reality TV companies, they have production meetings. There's an understanding of the direction. There's a mutual respect amongst cast members. People may not always see interviews with Kenya and Peter who say, you know what, before each scene, we would tell each other we about to come for each other.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I mean by a moral code and an honor code, where you can have that respect and camaraderie. Like, yes, we're here to make a good show. We're here to be ourselves, but don't take this personally.
Sure.
There was not that understanding, definitely not amongst our cast.
Sure.
And there were people who felt like there was a lot of backstabbing and throwing other people under the bus. And there was a lot of lies and fabrications. You cannot build a solid show when there's that type of toxicity. Because if I can't at least trust that you're going to do your job, it makes it very difficult to show up in an authentic space because you're always going to be on the defensive. And who wants to come into work on the defensive all the time?
Absolutely. Let's talk about Yusha.
Yes.
So that was, I don't want to use the term love interest. That was somebody you maybe had a committed relationship with, or at least it was presented that way. It was presented.
We were dating.
You were dating, so that's a committed relationship.
Yeah, we were dating.
And you met him through the Duncans?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
And I heard you say during the reunion that he was an opportunist.
I did.
But don't we all explore opportunities? Or were you saying that he saw you as an opportunity to be on reality TV, maybe to launch a career in music or something?
That's what I mean.
Okay.
So my thing is that's fine if that's the understanding. Like we're adults. So if I come to you and I say, hey, I'm only doing this because I do want to promote my book and I do want to promote my brand and I feel like it would be a good opportunity for me to be seen. That's keeping it 100.
Yeah.
And you could say, well, Winter, that's not why I want you on here. I want you to come on here as my friend and my friend only. Okay, cool. No problem. But we're having a dialogue. When the understanding is, okay, listen, I'm filming. I do want to get to know you. Are you okay with some of our dates or our exchanges being filmed? And you say, okay, cool. Then that's all I'm thinking. I'm not thinking you on here trying to promote a brand, a sock, a hat. That was not the discussion. So for me,
But was that discovered by you that he intentionally was trying to promote those things?
Yes.
Because I thought he appeared to be authentic in his relationship with you. I don't
feel like he was fake and getting to know me.
Correct.
But I do feel like the greater good or the greater squeeze out of the juice was being seen and potentially promoting its brand.
But what's wrong with that? You're on television. Listen, if I'm dating you, this is all I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm dating you, and you're on a reality show. You bring me on.
Yes.
I have, perspective show that I'm doing. I'm a mental health therapist, and I'm trying to propagate what I'm doing for the greater good of us as a couple.
But is it for us?
I would like to believe that what's for what I earn is for us. What you earn is for us, because we're dating, hoping that leads somewhere.
No.
Why?
Because again, if it's been expressed to you that you are coming into a situation where the person that you're dating is being judged very harshly, right? Your interest at that point is to support what your partner needs, which is the support of just, hey, we're just going to film. I'm not comfortable with them getting too much information because, again, I'm just coming out of one toxic thing. That is one perspective. But if your sole interest is going behind my back, asking for things to be promoted, asking for things to be shown, you're focused on the wrong thing. And it looked very negatively.
Scripted.
It looked very negatively amongst the people that are not necessarily my friends, but coworkers that do care about whether or not he really is genuinely interested in me. The optics are not going to look good.
Or were too many people in your ear about him that made his commitment to you dubious?
No. And producers want real, authentic things to unfold for the most part.
But I don't think a lot of times many of you all are being real. Let me say why.
The person.
That's true. But
Depends
here's the
on
reason
the
why. I think a lot of people go on reality television purposefully trying to hide and omit specific things about their life.
I agree.
And they script the image that they want the public to see. And then when something is discovered, now everyone is in their feelings about where did you get it from? Who told you that? And then off camera, it's like, why would you bring that to camera?
Yes. I think there's a lot of that. I think there's a lot of that in reality TV.
Absolutely.
However, in the case of dating someone, you just gotta be careful with that. And I feel like it could have been handled better. Otherwise, for me, if I just wanted to date random people, I could have done that.
Sure.
And just signed agreements and said, hey, don't discuss that I asked you to come on here. Because that could have been an option as well. That just wasn't the case with him. So I think for me, if I take an authentic, real approach, like, this is someone I'm really allowing you the opportunity to film that I'm getting to know in real life, there needs to be some respect there for that should be the sole purpose. And if you, for whatever reason, make it to the next season and we're still together and you want to say, hey, I want to start, using this opportunity versus them just kind of figuring out that I'm getting to know you, I want to spin it and get an opportunity to promote my business. I think that's something that I would have been like, oh yeah, cool.
So let me challenge you on something. Yeah. As a mental health therapist, somebody who works in the behavioral health field, I often think when things happen, like you've been through divorce, hiccup in the relationship, your relationship coach, etc. I believe life is speaking to you. Yeah. And when life is speaking to you, I think God sort of starts with the whisper, then it's the pebble upside the head. And then boom, the catastrophe happened. It's like, I'm trying to get your attention. Yeah. And because you're so comfortable, you specifically, with being in a relationship, I wonder sometimes if you look back in hindsight and say, I shouldn't have moved that fast, or maybe I should have just been open to having a friendship with him, but off camera.
So in retrospect, knowing what I know now, I would have never invited him on. I think I just would have dated random people. And I hate to say that.
No, I hear you.
But I think that was a better direction versus, because again, we didn't date that long. I think it may appear that way on camera, but we literally dated for 90 days. That's about the life cycle of what most relationships go through. Whether it's you start out all great and then, about 3
Maybe y'all should have gone on 90-Day Fiance. That was the show you needed to be on, not Love and Marriage DC.
Let me tell you, in retrospect, and I didn't realize, and you have to understand, I'm new to reality TV. This is not something I really want to do in my life. But for me, I didn't know how big of a deal it was to bring people on camera.
Yeah.
So I would have never had him on the couch with me. And at a certain point, I told production, I said, I'm not filming with him. like with us on camera anymore.
I think the first time I met him, first of all, I have to say thank you. I said
Yeah.
it before publicly. I'll say it again publicly. Yes. Thank you for inviting me and the team. At the time, I was the executive producer of The Realish.
Yes.
And you allow us to come in,
yes.
one of few media
yes.
to come in to do red carpet. It was the Romancipation.
Yes.
You performed your hit. I think it was Gutter Barber.
Gutter Barbies.
Gutter Barbies.
Sign my papers.
Yes. The Gutter Barbies was about Ashley and Irena. I don't care what no one says. That's what it was. You may have modified it later because you and Ashley built a friendship. Initially, they were the Gutter Barbies.
That's what I called them.
Yeah.
That song was not about them.
But I met
yes.
Yusha there at the time.
Yeah.
And I sort of was following, you know, how things move because we're taping here in the DMV.
Right.
And I never really saw or heard much about him. And then this guy shows up. Now, I wasn't following your life that I should have heard about him.
Yeah.
But things sort of propagate and get around.
Yes.
Was he introduced to the cast too soon?
I think that's a production question.
Well,
so for me, if you're being integrated in like a friend, because you have to think.
But you invited him to perform.
So yes, but even still, by this point, we're dating. So if you're in the lounge and Black is like, I think it'll be good if he raps on this. I'm like, okay, I'm open to that because we have to understand life is still life and outside of filming the show. So this is my real life. We're working on real music. So if Black as my producer says, hey, I think it'll be good if we get him, cool, no problem with that. Like we discussed that off camera. So was he on there too soon? He would have been on there because he would have been performing regardless. Too soon as far as being introduced as my love interest?
Yes.
If I had to do it over again, I wouldn't have had him introduced at all.
Is it true that allegedly Irena Tyler said something that led to the breakup of you and Yusha?
No.
I think I read that or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But listen, you can't believe everything you read.
He and I broke up separately.
But it was nothing that she said.
Nothing to do with no.
Okay.
No, I mean, I didn't really talk to them like that outside of filming, so they wouldn't have been integrated into our relationship to be able to have an opinion. Like, I
understand.
You know what I mean? Like, we were just dating. If anybody could have said anything, it would have been the Duncans.
The Duncans.
And they didn't. Like, they were very good at holding us both accountable.
Or did Irena like share some information with you that made you question if Yusha was authentic or if he was here for the right reasons?
I'm like, Lord, it's been so long ago. I'm trying to.
All right, we can move past that.
Like,
if you
I don't want to lie.
No, so let's also address the elephant in the room. What's the issue with you and the Tylers? As what's your perspective?
I don't really have a perspective on them. I think for me at this point, once I left the show, I left everybody with it. And Ashley and Quick will tell you that.
So if you saw Irena today, would you speak? Let's be authentic.
No.
So then listen.
No.
There is an issue.
See, to me, these are not people that were my friends before I got on reality TV. They were not a part of my life. I did not know who they were.
But you speak to strangers every day. So
I get it, but I'm saying, even if we were in the DMV in a room together, there's plenty of people I don't have an issue with, but I also don't know them. So I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, hey, how are you doing?
Well, not go out of your way, because that would be extreme, but let's paint it a different way. Because you worked with them as cast.
Yes.
Because you've had conversations with them.
Yes.
It must be something.
Still not people.
Something there if you wouldn't speak.
No, these are not people that are a part of my life at all.
But does a person need to be a part of your life? You weren't a part of my life, and I spoke to you.
Yeah, but that's because we were introduced, and we were in a close enough capacity to be. If I'm standing side by side, which is going to be very rare, I'm going to be honest. And I've been to plenty of events since then where we've all been in the same room.
Okay.
Like I've literally been in the same rooms with the Tylers. I'm still not going to go out of my way to be like, hey, how are you doing?
Not go out of your way, but let's say if you and Irena were in a restroom fortuitously, right at the same time.
I've been a row away from them. There's been no exchange.
Would you say hi first?
No.
Okay.
For what? To me, I say let things be. Some things have served their seasons. We had a season where we worked together, but there's plenty of people I've worked with in corporate that I don't speak to anymore.
Joy and Cliff, would you speak?
I don't know them either, so I don't
Do
know.
you have to know somebody to speak, Winter?
Yeah,
We're not, Winter, are we being authentic and transparent?
I'm telling you now.
It's humanistic. It's very
not
humanistic
but
to
my
speak.
thing is you're making something necessary that's not necessary. We're adults.
I think that's fair.
We can be in the same room, not speak, not have an issue. I'm not going to mean mug you. I'm not going to give you but I'm not also expecting you to speak, nor should I be expected to speak. Because
I
again,
think that's fair.
we can be in the same, I think that's the maturity, is that we can be in the same space and I don't have to worry about somebody trying to pick a fight or say something crazy. You live your life, I live mine. Never the two shall meet. And it doesn't bother me because I go back to, these weren't people who were a part of my life before
Carmen.
I got into. No.
I thought you and Carmen were cool.
And I've seen her when we speak, but we don't talk anymore either.
But would you speak?
I've spoken to her. So
yes.
that's
okay.
So actually, when I saw you that day, she spoke to both me and Ed. So yeah, I mean, that's fine. We speak and we go on, but she's not so.
So it's just Ashley and Quick and Sherelle and Black if you saw them.
If I saw them, correct.
Yes.
Like other than that, and again, Black wished me, congratulated me on getting married.
Good.
And we're cool. I have nothing against, but I don't see them and they're not a part of my life and I'm not a part of theirs. I don't feel like people really understand like how not close our cast was outside of filming this show. And to be fair.
Is it because Ashley was the ringleader? And I'm not accusing, Ashley, I'm not accusing you. I'm asking based on imagery and what we saw as viewers. Ashley posture was strong. She's a very assertive woman. I wouldn't necessarily use the word aggression. I don't like that word being used, but she's very assertive. Is it fair to say that someone who's extremely assertive may have a stronger influence?
No, because quite frankly, I think Ashley would probably tell you, that's just Winter. Winter skips to the beat of her own drum. If you are not integrated heavily into my personal life, I ain't going to go out of my way to integrate you. It is the God honest truth. I have people that I've known for years. I don't talk to all the time, but they would fly in tomorrow to be there for me because those are my real friends. Not people that I've known in a professional capacity, let alone people that haven't really added or subtracted to my life in any way. So I do my own thing. Ashley, I think she's still cool with Carmen. Like we are two separate.
Is she cool with the Tylers?
I don't know I really couldn't tell you their status. Last I knew they don't talk, but that's last I knew. Like I said, I don't dig in the depth of any of that, so I couldn't tell you.
Who was the star of the show?
Was there a star?
The public thinks there's a star. Who was the star?
Does the public think there's a star?
I think the public has a strong favor of a couple or a person that they deem to be like, I think all shows, let's just call a thing. Nene Leakes was the star and the head beat whatever
for sure,
of
but
the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
That way. I feel like our star left.
Oh, who was?
Monique.
Monique was the star.
Yes.
So Monique was the star. That's what I'm asking. Who was the star?
But she was, I try to respect the fact that she doesn't associate herself. So she's only there one season. So if there was a star, it was Monique.
It was Monique.
That star left. So it left everyone in this kind of depends on who you like.
Did Ashley kill the show?
No. The show was going to die because there was not real relationship intact. Like it's very hard to keep.
So did producers make a mistake in cherry picking cast?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure. I think if you had a tighter friend group, this show would have some longevity. Depending on it's also dependent on personality, right?
I was going to say that. So do you think Irena had an ego and Ashley had an ego and they sort of...
I don't think anybody had an ego.
Okay, good.
I think our star left the show.
Okay.
And so we were left to pick up the pieces of what that looked like. And so unless, again, you have a tight friend group where we can laugh, we can get mad, and we can be happy 2 seconds later. I think that's what people loved about Nene and Kim.
Yep.
They would fight, go at it, and they would be laughing
Right
2
back.
seconds because they were really friends.
Yep.
That's the difference. And I felt like our show always missed that. Like we were missing that key where we could laugh, get mad, and be friends again. Ashley and I have that now, and it's
because you guys initially, I don't want to use the word didn't like each other, but there were
butt heads heavily.
Yes.
So we laugh about that now because if we had the friendship we have now on the show,
Sure.
the show would be crazy. Because we know how to get mad, have our feelings,
Yes.
have our opinions.
Yes.
We're both very opinionated, but we get over it and then we're back acting a fool. Like that's what reality TV is.
It bonds people and it breaks up people.
Yes, that's what it should be. I feel like even if it breaks you, if you're really friends, you should be able to come back together,
I
right?
always wanted to know your opinion about this. Was it appropriate in your perspective for Carmen to grab Cliff's beard,
She
knowing
couldn't grab
that
Ed's beard. I tell you that.
she can?
She could not.
Oh, exactly.
She could
Okay.
not and me not have an issue because that beard
okay.
is for me to grab, no one else. So no.
So it's inappropriate behavior.
I think it was, but
Yeah.
I told her that. Like
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing I will say with Carmen and I, we've been very honest about our feelings to each other. So yeah.
And what has she been honest with you about her feelings regarding you?
She
Does
doesn't
she
have
like
an issue.
you?
Yeah,
She
she
doesn't
doesn't
have
have
an
an
issue.
issue with me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that's fine.
Does Carmen and Ashley still speak as far as you know?
As far as I know, they're fine too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, as far as I know, they don't have any issue. Like I said, I don't dig too deep in the weeds with this crew, but as far as I know, yeah, they're good.
Do you think the show is coming back? Now, I've heard there's been rumors that Carlos is saying, I don't know what's going on. It's up to the network. Do you believe Carlos really doesn't know?
He could possibly not know. I really don't know.
The showrunner, the EP, the creator may
I know
not have.
let me tell you, I know
Okay.
it sounds crazy that he does not know, but because I also know the inner workings of how network operates sometimes, it is possible that he really doesn't know. I think there's a lot of decisions on the table when it comes to reality TV programming in general with OWN. So I do think it's a network thing where he may not be sure. And we have to also look at other shows. Like some of the numbers are not that great for some of the other shows.
Do you know what the numbers were for Love and Marriage DC?
I do not remember, but they were not high.
Speaking of numbers,
Yeah.
how much did you guys get paid an episode? Now, I've heard $1,500, $2,000, $2,500.
Contractually, I cannot say. I can just say that at the time that I was on the show was not higher than $2,500.
That's okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
Let me address something that's been a rumor for a very long time.
Okay.
It involves you.
Okay.
It involves Carmen, but I think this is the perfect platform to clear the
Okay.
perspective.
Yes.
Allegedly, there was rumor that Irena had slept with a pastor, and we know that isn't true. And supposedly, this gentleman, pastor, or whoever this person was invited to one of your events. I don't know if you invited him.
Okay.
Carmen did.
So let's start from the beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
There was not a rumor that they had something. That I don't know where that came from.
Fair
so
enough.
that's not. I want to clear that up. There was not a rumor. Carmen had an event. We all attended that event.
Sure.
Myself, the pastor, the Tylers. He volunteered this information himself. Now, I know he has since come out and said, no, I was talking about...
Because I saw a video where he was talking to the Tylers.
Correct.
Yes.
No. I said Brittany, not Irena.
Brittany is the Tyler's daughter.
The Tyler's daughter.
Yes.
Let's be very clear. As a mom, I would have told her that someone was talking about her daughter, saying they had been with her romantically. I would never confuse Brittany with Irena's name.
Sure.
That just doesn't even make sense. If he had said Brittany, I would have said, hey, he said Brittany. Why are you bringing this up in this environment anyway? Because A, the Tylers are present. B, nobody asked you. You volunteered this information in this group. All that to say, the Tylers learned of this information. Now he's changed his story. I have said last year when I was asked about it, and I will emphatically say now, that is what happened. Whether he wants to recant what he said, that's on him. I will take that to my grave.
And you said Carmen invited him?
Yes.
does Carmen have a relationship with him? Friendship relationship.
Relationship, as far as I know. Like,
Okay.
he was her invite. I didn't know he was going to be there. Just like I didn't know the Tylers were going to be there. I was invited by my friend at the time.
So let me ask you a very strong question.
Yes.
Do you believe, or is there a belief that Carmen knew this gentleman was going to share information? You were in the dark about that, but still invited him, knowing that maybe, loose lips sink ships.
I have no idea I just thought everyone was separate.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of the unfortunate information that everyone did not know. There was this assumption that I went and told a blogger. I'm like, I would have no reason to go tell a blogger. And I'm going to be honest, because all of us talk to bloggers and we have bloggers that are our favorites.
Sure.
I would have been able to back what I said and didn't say to any blogger, because I don't play about being lied on. That is really what ended my conversation with the Tylers, is that it was advertised as if I went to a blogger to tell this information, and that was not true. Not only was it not true, the blogger came out and said who sent her the information, and it wasn't me.
Who is the blogger?
It was several.
Okay.
It was several of them. So they all they all were reporting this story at the time. All that to say, don't lie and say I sent something to a blogger, because to me, that's a very serious accusation, and I don't play about that, because I wouldn't want information being sent to a blogger on me. Anyway, this blogger came back out and said it wasn't Winter. I didn't get it from her.
Okay.
This is the person. My thing when it comes to publicly saying that I did something and not recanting and saying, hey, when we found out it wasn't Winter, it was this person. You can still be mad at me for saying whatever I said, but be honest about what I said.
Sure.
And also clear up that it wasn't Winter that sent this information. That wasn't done. Cool. I'm out of it. We won't talk again.
Sure.
Because to me, you're playing with my reputation, and that's, to me, something different. While I understand Arena might have felt like, well, you being asked that and speaking to the truth of it might have played with my reputation.
Absolutely.
Say that. Say, I just wish you had not said anything, Winter, at that time. Fine. I can say, okay, I understand that. I was being honest, though, about what I heard, which
Sure.
is not my fault.
Sure.
I can only repeat what I heard.
And is that fair to sort of bring to the table things that you've heard? I know during a reunion, it was sort of brought up about you've heard things about her, Jamie, the kids. I kind of think people should leave children out of the mix, even if they have an appearance on television.
And that was another thing, even with the kids. I didn't bring up anything about the kids. Now, I think Arena and Ashley
But you
had
said
an
you
issue.
heard something.
Not at the reunion. So that was something that was done off camera between Arena and I. The only reason why the public knows about that is because she discussed it in an interview. It's not something I brought publicly.
Okay.
So I want to be clear about that. Now, the only person I think who had an issue about bringing up kids was Arena with Ashley. So they had their issues about that.
But you didn't say, I know you didn't say you had receipts. I know you didn't say that.
No,
but
not
did
the
you
kids.
say that like friends, were there friends or acquaintances that may have reached out to you and shared things? Because a lot of times people are in all of yours DMs about other casts.
Correct. No, you're referring to the first season where I reached out to her, and that's what made the blogs. But how it was told was not how it went down. That was not something I said on camera. It wasn't filmed at all. It was only discussed because she brought it up in the interview. I went to her woman to woman, and that was by friends telling, like close friends between her and I, saying, I think you should let her know that people are trying to share this with you. She took it as, oh, she's being messy. I'm like, no, if I wanted to be messy, then the place that would have bring it up would have been on camera. Not coming to you woman to woman saying, hey, this is what people are sending me. I just think you should be aware. Not, oh, let's go talk about this on camera. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't play about my kids.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I don't play about other people's kids.
Absolutely.
I think people have to be fair about that. Like, if I am cautious about my kids, I'm going to be cautious about other people's kids. And just like I came to her woman to woman, if someone came to her and was shopping information about please come tell me.
Let you know. Yeah.
I would want to know. So that's all that
How
happened.
did your children respond to seeing you on television, going back and forth with the cast and having to come home? And maybe at the time they didn't know that was the taping, but then perhaps hearing about it, reading about it, seeing it online, sharing with friends. Speak to what they felt.
My kids are very sheltered. Like, they're very
They never saw the show?
So they don't really watch the playbacks of the show. The only person who knew was my oldest daughter, and she was online arguing with some of the cast.
Oh, wow.
Because for her, it's like, she knows the truth. Like, just because you cut it out doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Sure.
Just because the audience doesn't see everything that happens doesn't make the audience right, because they're only going off of what they're seeing.
Sure.
So for her, yeah, she wanted to defend me. I told her to leave it alone though, because it gets to be a lot. I didn't want her arguing with
She shouldn't be
cast
taking on
members.
adult issues.
Yeah, I'm like, but she's an adult herself, and that was her thing.
But not her specific adult issues. These were her mom's.
Correct. So I just didn't want her involved. I don't
Sure.
advocate for my kids, but the rest of my kids, they never got any bullying or people coming
Yeah.
to them. They live in a great, secluded, protected, and they come from a dad that was in the NFL. Like, this was cake work for
Yeah.
them. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the same, and it's not on the same scale either.
Yeah.
So for me, like, they were very supportive about me being on there. They were proud of me, and that's really all that mattered.
That's all that matters.
I don't really have I think people will be shocked. I don't have all the drama that people think.
Yeah. No,
I think it appears that way on the show. Like,
Yes.
oh, there's so much going on. I think people will probably find my normal day-to-day life to be very boring.
Do you still watch reality TV?
I do. I still watch Married at First Sight. I love 90 Day Fiancé.
You love 90 Day Fiancé.
I'm trying to get into Love Island, but I like Survivor, Traitors.
Yeah.
So yeah, but not really Housewives.
But what's your take on Karen Huger and the DUI charge?
I hate it. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it for her. I really do. That's my girl. I literally hate it, and I wish the best for her.
Do you think the sentencing was fair? There are lots of people who drive drunk and kill.
I understand that, but I still think, there's so many people that do more time. There's so many people that don't get as fortunate as she did to still be alive.
Absolutely.
So I think the fact that she's still here with us and the sentencing wasn't as severe as it could have been, yeah, I think it was fair. I'm looking forward to her coming back.
Would you go on that show?
No.
Why?
Oh, it's the same thing. We're just talking about an elevated version of what I came from.
You say that's it for you?
Yeah, I'm good.
So then what other type of reality show would you consider?
I would do Traitors.
You would do Traitors?
I would do something like Traitors. I would definitely do my own thing. Yeah.
What would we see in your life if you did your own show? And would you have any apprehension about your marriage ending up in divorce, as we believe reality show has some influence?
No, there's too many couples that have made it through reality TV, but I also am sure of who I married, and our relationship is very strong. I also wouldn't be on there to be airing out all sorts of crazy stuff. I think there's positive displays of reality TV and families that exude what true Black excellence and success is and what Black love is. I think the beauty of blending a family, like we've had such a good time doing that. That's been a blessing for us. So I just think it would be different. I think how it would be produced would be different. Who I would work with would be different. And we would honestly include people that we were really friends with.
And speaking of producing, do you think a lot of these reality shows need better producers, or they need to be more strategic in how they produce, because relationships are ruined?
Yes. I think it's a mixture of both.
Do you think Carlos had a great team here in DC? If you had to be really honest and transparent about the producers.
A great production team? I think they had a lot of great talent on their team. I do.
Specifically about the producers.
I have a lot of great relationships with their producers. They have a lot of talented producers. They really, really do. I think the formula for our show was a little jacked just from not having the foundation of solid friendships.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he has a good team. I think there needs to be some reinvention of of how reality TV, this particular genre is produced.
So let me sort of close this out. What did you learn the most about yourself in this experience of reality TV?
Oh my gosh, that I never needed reality TV. And I wouldn't have known that without going on it.
You wouldn't, yep.
So that's the lesson.
Is Winter still singing? Because you did great singing the
Yes.
national anthem at the Washington
Yes.
Wizards game.
Winter is still singing, but I will say it's not the forefront of my life right now.
Yep.
It's definitely enjoying, like, I have a lot of peace. Since leaving the show, my life has changed drastically. And the peace that I have, I would not trade. My family is good. For the first time, I can honestly say, like, I'm with the right person.
You're with the right person.
My kids are amazing. Business is growing. That's been fun. I have a career or profession that I love and I'm good at. The rest is really just leaning into that. I'm writing more. I have 2 more books coming out. My Bible app
you
versions.
did a book. I think it was titled rather Housewives or something. Your cookbook.
The Single Housewives.
The Single Housewives.
That is actually coming out this fall.
It's coming out this fall.
It's coming out this fall. Working on another piece of work that I hope will hit kind of around the same time. We'll see. We're trying to plan out having a new PR team. So there's a lot of good things on the horizon.
So you still have a team and you're still working.
Still working, still have a team. But that was the thing. I was making so much money prior to getting on reality TV.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Doing my own thing, speaking, doing workshops, doing conferences. I don't think people realize.
I don't think so either.
I was making a lot of money. And it's so funny. I had an opportunity to visit with one of my mentors. And interestingly enough, her cousin is somebody really famous, and I'm going to keep their privacy. I did not know this.
What line of work is this famous person in?
They are in television. They're in
okay.
television. So we had an opportunity to talk, and she was sharing with this personality. They were like, Winter never needed the show. She was making so much money
sure, yeah.
doing what she was doing. And I just need to get back to doing what I was doing.
But has the show now enhanced because you're associated with the franchise Love and Marriage DC?
No, because it's 2 different audiences.
That's true.
No. If I was sticking with reality TV, sure. But for what I do, no. Yeah. No, I.
Is it because the audience that is exposed to what you do may be more elevated in their knowledge and
Correct.
their interests?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And also in what they're trying to do in their own personal lives. So if you're looking for growth and healing, you're not necessarily knee deep in the reality TV world because it's too chaotic, right? So for me, it's just going back to what I'm good at. And that's where I've started to see success and things change and grow and bloom. And I'm happy.
Absolutely.
Like, I love it. My mom said that to me this morning.
Absolutely.
She said, I can hear the happiness in your voice.
I can see it in your face.
Yes.
I mean, the smile is from here to China.
Yes.
Ever treat this woman good? I'm sure you are.
Yes.
I'm sure you are.
God is good and life is good.
So what is it that you want to share that you may have not shared, you may not have been asked? Is there anything you want to clear up? Is there anything you want to promote further than what you've already stated?
Yeah, I would say...
how do you want people to remember Winter?
I want people to remember the feisty Southern Belle because that is a part of who I am. But what I feel like wasn't shown enough is the grace, the elegance, the intelligence,
but people don't want to see that.
Some people don't.
Some people don't.
I won't assign that to everybody. Some people don't. But I would say the grace, the elegance, the intelligence, the ability to ignite and inspire other women to really chase their dreams and not letting any setbacks hold you back, right?
Yes.
I would say I'm a resilience strategist.
Resilience strategist.
Yes.
I like that.
How to bounce back.
That's
yes.
right.
And I would say my life is pretty much a very good picture of how to bounce back. And so I'm in my bounce back season. God has been faithful. I feel like he's redeemed the time that I feel like, oh man, you know, I got to start over and do it again. Is there anything I want people to follow? Yes, follow me on YouTube. Winter Womanland is my channel.
Winter Wonderland. I love that.
Womanland.
Oh, Womanland. Okay, I said
instead
Wonder.
of Wonderland,
yeah.
Winter Womanland.
Womanland.
So it's where we can find positive women-focused media. And so that's really my focus and my passion and my goal. Other than that, you know, follow me on social media. Keep up with my real life.
Would you be open to a sit-down conversation with Monique? Because when you said this sort of positive trajectory you're on. And Monique,
Yes.
I believe, still lives in that very spiritual world. And I follow her in the work that
Yeah.
she's doing for herself, her family.
For sure.
I think there's a bridge to close the gap.
I think if I was still looking forward in that reality TV world, but
outside of reality TV.
even outside of reality TV, I'm also a believer in timing. And I feel like whatever's meant to be will be. And if that is meant to be repaired, I feel like God always creates the space for that. But I'm also not big on forcing it either.
I'm the same way.
Yes.
Yep. Winter Henderson, thank you so much.
Thank
you,
you.
Winter. Give me a hug. That was
Yes.
good. That was good, Winter. That was good. That was good. You did a great job.
Thank
Smart
you.
woman. Smart woman.